All right, y'all, so I'm trying to make a similar tool to this to adjust my router lift. Problem is I changed the setup, so now I need a 17 millimeter. I don't want to waste a socket, but I've got this old big bugger here that I haven't used in a long time. I don't have a need for it. I lost the other two that were in the set. So this end is 17 millimeter. So I was trying to drill through, just ain't got the right strength bit. So I'm trying to make something like this to fit this. So I got a piece of plywood, I got this. So instead of drilling through, because I don't want to go buy another drill bit to dull, so I'm going to take a piece of hardwood, fashion a similar hexagonal shape or octagonal, whatever. I'm not a mathematician. And then, so then I'll be able to connect that to this and secure it, and then have the tool that I'll need. Already got two angles put in there pretty good. Now just to mark all this. Maybe I'll use a tool. I know I moved my finger, but I like to build things a little bit too big and then trim them down to fit. To speed things up, I went ahead and just cut this with the bandsaw, because remember, this part is, we'll just trim it later to fit this hole, or we'll make a new one. But we're just trying to make this shape, this shape, so like we learned in elementary school or kindergarten, whatever. Coming along. Okay, so I have the roughly finished product. So I cut a little piece of plywood. Don't worry, it's just a workshop tool, and it's just something you turn by hand, so it doesn't have to be symmetric. Don't get hung up on how beautiful you build your workshop tools, because this is temporary. I may be changing this setup in 6 weeks, so why spend all that unnecessary time for unnecessary things? So, but I do advise measuring and cutting the center before you sand it. I did the opposite, but that's right. So it's a little bit off. But anyways, here's the, where's it? Okay, here's the socket. I made this little piece here. You saw it fit. And we're gonna put it this way. There we go. So it fits. I'll seat that properly, but I'll put glue on it first. And then move it back here. There you go. You can see it's gonna work just fine. I'm using it by hand, so it doesn't have to be symmetrical. And so I'll take this, oh, there we go. Take this apart, glue it up, put it back in. I might even, no, that'll be it. Then, to hold this together, there we go. I made a wedge that it's going to go down. It's going to go down right here. And it's, as you drive it, it's going to spread this, and it'll hold this all in place. So there's about a 1/2 inch left in this space. I may make this wedge, make this a little shorter, so I get more depth. But all I need is the same distance, like 1/2 inch, for this wedge to be out of the way for it to fit here. So it'll all work. Didn't spend anything. I had everything in the shop. And it's temporary. Like this piece, I used a socket. Had to go buy it. The problem is, as soon as I did this, I changed my setup and built a new table router lift. So don't worry if it's not symmetric. Even this was not symmetric, but it worked fine. So I'm gonna tell you something here. I don't show drilling or sanding or typically cutting, because we all know how to do that. And I hate having to speed it up, especially when they show every time they drill, or yeah, we know that. So, but I'm gonna show you here because I don't want you to make the mistake. So I'm gonna put this on here, but you can't really get this the wedge started. So just start the wedge first. Put it over, get it seated. I'm just using, that's the one that's closest to me. Actually, I think I'll flip it around this way. Yeah, no. All right, then look at that. That bugger isn't coming out. Hopefully I don't need to take it out. No, that's not coming out. And this end is tight, and so, and just to show you, more than enough depth. Yeah, that wedge is deeper than this socket can go. So that's fine. Now I'll put this on, I'll glue it, and I'll put it on. And then tomorrow, or later today maybe, I'll spray paint it. But you'll see, maybe you'll see me use it in a future video. I'm getting ready to do some raised panel doors. That's why I'm doing all this. So I cut a bunch of mahogany, because we're doing, like I said, raised panel door. So here I've already got one door prepared. But I was going to do some work today in the shop, but my wife kidnapped me and we went up north. So here we go. Said I'd paint it blue probably, so it's all pretty. Works just fine. And it'll work just fine until the next retrofit or whatever you'd call it. So I'll make a video next week. I made another video today that I'll be posting, but that's about traveling up north and going to Bisay. So go build something, inspire somebody.